All right, looks like we've got Trig lecture 927 and 928. Student will convert radian measure into degrees. Pretty simple, straightforward stuff. I don't think you'll have any problem with this. I do want to remind you of what a radian is. This is a rough sketch that I made of 1 radian. If you have a circle and a central angle, that's an angle that has its vertex at the center of the circle, and the angle intercepts an arc that is the same length as the radius of the circle, this angle is said to have a measure of 1 radian. If the length of this arc is equal to the length of the radius, then the angle is said to be 1 radian in measure, the measure of the angle. Degrees are a little bitty compared to radians. Radians are much bigger than degrees. So they're 1, 2, 3 degrees is almost 180 degrees, 3 radians is almost 180 degrees. Pi radians is 180 degrees, just like we talked about in the last lecture. Okay, but what we're going to be doing now is converting radian measure. We're going to be given a radian measure, and we're going to convert it to degrees. Here's how we do that. To convert radian measure to degrees, we multiply by 180 over pi and simplify. So that's pretty straightforward. Change each radian measure to degrees. This is negative 9 pi over 4. Remember that the negative just indicates the direction of rotation. We would be starting here, here would be our initial side, and we would rotate in this direction. That's negative rotation. That's all that minus sign means. Just the direction of the rotation. Okay, so I'm going to change this to from radians to degrees because I've been asked to. And I'm going to do that by multiplying by 180 over pi. To change degrees to radians, we multiply by pi over 180. The way I remember it is if I want to multiply this by something to change it to degrees, I know that I want my pi's to cancel, so I want the pi in the bottom when I'm changing radians to degrees. That way, these pi's will cancel out automatically, and whatever is left will be our answer in degrees. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this. This would give me, let's see, I can divide these two. 180 divided by 4 is 45, I believe. And so this is negative 9 times 180 divided by 4. That would make 45, and that turns into a 1. And negative 9 times 45 is whatever that is. I could do that in my head, but I will probably get it wrong because it's early in the morning. So I'll go ahead and use my calculator. 405. Okay. And that will be negative. That indicates the direction of rotation. If we're drawing the angle in standard form where the positive x-axis is the initial side, the terminal side will be negative 405 degrees. So let's see if I got that right. Negative 405, yay! It's early in the morning and I'm off to a good start. That calls for a sip of coffee, if I can find my coffee. Hey, something's come up on my board over here. What's that say? It says restart to install the Windows update. Nope. Don't want to restart right now, but I do want a sip of coffee. Oh, that's good. Okay, let's take a look at this. We're changing radian measure to degrees. It's just a matter of doing the same thing over and over again until you remember it. I'm going to multiply by 180 over pi and reduce. One of the kids was telling me that you can just plug this all into your calculator just the way it looks and it'll do all the reducing for you. So that's something to bear in mind. I do it the old-fashioned way because that's how I was taught to do it. I can say, hey, these will both divide by 3, and this will leave me with this 5. This will turn into a 1, and this will turn into a 60. And 5 times 60 is 300. And so our 5 pi over 3 radians is equal to 300 degrees. We converted radian measure, 5 pi over 3, to 300 degrees. And let's see if I got that one right. Yay, 300 degrees. So you see, it's pretty simple, straightforward stuff. We're converting radian measure to degrees by multiplying our radian measure angle, and our angle is represented in radian measure. We multiply it by 180 over pi and start canceling stuff. So here we go. I can cancel these pi's right away. That's how I remember that the pi's in the bottom. And I'm going to say that 180 divided by 36, well, they'll definitely both, I can divide them both by 6 in my head, easy enough. If I divide that by 6, it's 30. If I divide that by 6, it's 6. And I can divide both of these by 6. And that turns into a 1, that turns into a 5. And I'm left with negative 43 times 5, which is whatever that is, negative 255. Negative 255. I'm going to do that with my calculator just to make sure, because it's early and my brain is not as healthy as it used to be, especially early in the morning. 215, so yeah, I was off. Should be slapped. It's negative because of this minus sign. It's degrees because we converted radians to degrees. And I'm going to do that one more time just to make sure. 43 times 180 equals, divided by 36 equals 215. Yes. Where I got 255 or whatever it was I got, we may never know. But it simplifies to negative 215 if you don't make any mistakes. And let's see if I got it right. Number 3, 215, negative 215 degrees. Yay. All right, we got one more here. 73 pi over 18, I want to convert that to radians. I'm from radians to degrees rather. So I'm going to multiply by 180 over pi. I'm going to start reducing. These will divide out. Pi divided by pi is 1. When you cancel it out, it turns into a 1. These will both divide by 18. That turns into a 1, and this turns into 10. 180 divided by 18 is 10. And now I can just multiply what's left. 73 times 10 should be 730 degrees, unless I've made a mistake. And as I said, one of the kids said you can just type this in 73 pi over 18 times 180 over pi. It hit equals, and the calculator will do all that nice fancy stuff for you. So yay. Let's see what I get. Oh, I can just check the answer. Did all that in my head. 730, yay! It's early and my brain is not working, but by golly, I got through those 4 problems. So what was our objective? Our objective was to convert radian measure into degrees. How did we do that? To convert radian measure to degrees, we multiply our radian measure by 180 over pi. That's what we did in each case, and we simplified, and you can do this.